Honorable Sherwin Gatchalian, the chairperson of the Committee on Finance of the Senate of the Philippines. Assalamualaikum, warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Madayaw, mayong adlaw, kaninyong tanan. Magandang araw sa inyong lahat. The Office of the Vice President stands resolutely as a people's institution. Despite challenges, nothing has so far been insurmountable enough to take OVP off its track, derail its course, or completely incapacitate the institution and stop it from serving the interests of the people. The establishment of 10 OVP satellite offices and an extension office in Tondo, Manila has been pivotal in bringing the national government closer to underserved communities across the country with timely and significant government interventions. These offices enhance the efficiency and effectiveness of OVP services, ensuring that help reaches those who need it most. We request the Secretariat to play the AVP presentation prepared by the office. Kinsay tao na to sa Secretary.
Behind every milestone are the stories of countless Filipinos whose lives have been touched by the Office of the Vice President. We are committed to bringing tangible change directly to those who need it most. Recognizing that peace is built on hope and opportunity, the OVP made the strategic decision to bring its PagbaBAGO program to Patikul, Sulu, a former battleground.
Mahirap talaga noon. Karanas kami sobra. Pati yung naghanap buhay, sobra talaga ang naranasan namin. Pero iba na ngayon. Maganda na yung sitwasyon natin ngayon. Nakabalik na kami dito.
By providing students with the tools they need to succeed, the OVP empowers them with a sense of dignity, inspiring them to learn and giving them a renewed sense of hope for their education and their future. The PagbaBAGO campaign is a two-pronged investment in our future. We have distributed over 400,000 bags and planted close to 1 million trees across the country. Our operational excellence and financial discipline ensure every peso counts. The women of Barangay Adia received a 150,000 peso grant and generated a remarkable profit of 102,000 pesos in just 4 months. Our grants are strategically distributed to ensure maximum impact. Group enterprises receive an average grant of 150,000 pesos, while individual beneficiaries are provided with 15,000 pesos, ensuring every peso supports the right scale of enterprise.
Madami na pong mga gobyerno na nakaupo, wala pa hong nag-alok sa samahan ng mga kababaihan. Nawa po ay marami pa po kayong matulungan ng mga samahan katulad po ng aming samahan.
For many survivors of Typhoon Yolanda, a new home came with a new challenge, the daily struggle of commuting. The OVP's Libreng Sakay bus was the answer. Libreng Sakay alleviates the financial burden on working Filipinos and gives them back a sense of comfort and safety.
Ay naku, napakalaking tulong ho. Napakalaking ginawa, especially sa mga estudyante pa rin. Katulad ko, meron akong high school. Mag-high school ngayon, kasakay ng libre na.
Since 2022, the Libreng Sakay program has provided over 2.5 million free rides. This program gives a much-needed financial break to workers and students in key cities across the Philippines. The OVP launched the Janaza Kit initiative in the Bangsamoro Autonomous Region in Muslim Mindanao. This tailored support provides essential items for Islamic funeral rites. Ensuring cultural sensitivity is a cornerstone of our service, providing dignity during a time of grief.
Napakagandang inisyatibo ito ng ating VP. Ang kahalaga nito sa amin, mandatory po ito sa amin. Kahit walang-wala kami, dapat hanapin namin ng paraan para makabili lang kami ng ganito. Kaya kung may ganito na, ay naku, alhamdulillah, napakalaking tulong po sa amin. Kasi hindi na po kami maghihirap.
Our medical and burial assistance programs have provided a lifeline for Filipinos in their time of need. Our presence on the ground is a promise to the people, ensuring vital services are delivered directly where they are needed. The OVP's Disaster Operations Center has assisted over 369,831 families in their most vulnerable moments. We complement local response teams in mobilizing resources to save lives and rebuild communities. Our focus is on quality and impact. The You Can Be VP program mentors our future leaders. The Kalusugan food truck delivers hot meals to frontliners. And our RISE program provides food security to families in crisis. These achievements are not ours alone. We work hand in hand with government agencies, LGUs, NGOs, and the private sector, leveraging resources for a broader, more sustainable impact. Our commitment is embodied by our 10 satellite offices, strategically located across the archipelago, ensuring that Filipinos in remote areas receive timely and accessible services. The Office of the Vice President remains steadfast in its mission to serve, to uplift, and to empower every Filipino. Together, let us work towards a stronger, more resilient, and more inclusive nation.
The successful delivery of OVP service was fueled by the courage of the men and women of the office, courage to be committed public servants working to ensure that all Filipinos experience government regardless of their proximity to the capital. Our 2026 budget proposal builds on the outcomes of the previous year, addressing the significant budget reduction we faced while envisioning a path forward through fiscal discipline and strategic partnerships. I will now proceed to discuss the highlights of the 2026 proposed budget of the Office of the Vice President. Good morning, everyone. Presenting the highlights and salient features of the OVP budget under fiscal year 2026 National Expenditure Program, or the NEP. The Department of Budget and Management has recommended a budget of 902,895,000 for fiscal year 2026 vis-a-vis the 942,038,000 of the proposal of the Office of the Vice President. The amount recommended is 21.33 higher than the fiscal year 2025 budget as appropriated. The proposed budget will cover personal services or PS, maintenance and operating expenses or MOOE, and capital outlay. For the PS, the recommended budget for fiscal year 2026 is 212,538,000, which is 23.54% of the total budget. The amount is higher by 12.14% than the fiscal year 2025 PS level. Personal services cover salaries, benefits, and allowances of 162 filled positions. It also includes the special duty allowance for military and uniformed personnel and salary for non-permanent positions. The total proposed PS budget, including retirement and life insurance premiums, or RLIP, is 212,538,000. For the MOOE, the recommended budget is 673,753,000, which is 74.62% of the total budget. The amount is based on the DBM Tier 1 MOOE level of 654,527,000, plus additional Tier 2 requests of 19,226,000 19,226,000 for the information and communication technology, or ICT related expenses, in line with the DICT endorsed Information Systems Strategic Plan, or ISSP. The MOOE includes the allocations of the following: supplies and materials, as well as financial assistance subsidies, which are intended for goods and grants that will be directly received by the OVP target beneficiaries or clients; travel and representation expenses to support the operational needs of the OVP in implementing its programs and projects, including its ceremonial and executive functions; and for the provisions of professional services and rent lease expenses to cover the service fees of contract of service personnel, IT-related consultancy services as per the ISSP, and the operational needs of OVP central and satellite offices. As for the capital outlay, the total budget is 1.84% of the total recommended budget, or equivalent to 16.6 million. The recommended capital outlay covers the procurement of various information and communication technology outlays consistent with the ISSP. By appropriation source, the amount under agency-specific budget is 889,236,000 and 13,695,000 under automatic appropriations for the RLIP. Of the total amount of 902,895,000 under the fiscal year 2026 National Expenditure Program, 275,183,000 or 30.5% is allotted for various goods and grants under socio-economic programs of the OVP, which will directly benefit Filipinos. This excludes the logistics and other costs which are necessary to implement the programs. This is presenting the comparative budget of the OVP from 2020 to 2025 under the GAA and 2026 under the NEP. So in 2020, the budget was 708,019,000. In 2021, the budget was 908,790,000. In 2022, the budget was 713,408,000. In 2023, the budget was 2,356,614,000. And in 2024, the budget was 1,885,462,000. In 2025, the budget was 744,146,000. And currently, for 2026, under the NEP, it's 902,895,000. So this is the chart, the graph of the comparative budget. Prior to fiscal year 2023, the OVP's budget ranged from 700 to 900 million, and it was only in fiscal year 2023 and 2024 that the budget exceeded 1 billion pesos, primarily due to increased allocations for financial assistance and subsidy to support the provision of medical and burial assistance. For fiscal year 2025, the OVP budget returned to its pre-2023 levels with 744,015,000 allocated for 2025. The same budget level is maintained under the proposed 2026 budget with adjustments for inflation, including the mandated salary increases. Since 2020, and even with higher budgets in 2023 and 2024, the OVP was able to maintain a high full-year budget utilization or obligation rate of at least 85.55% at end year. Presented is the comparison between the 2025 and 2026 budgets under GAA and under NEP. The net increase of 158,749,000 is attributable to the following: personal services increase of 21,313,000 due to increase in number of field positions from 149 to 162, and the corresponding standard salary increases across all items. MOOE items with a total increase of 174,521,000 is for supplies and materials expenses. This is the increase in the provision for disaster relief and the rice programs, the financial assistance and subsidies for the Negosyo Ta program, the professional services, provision for existing contract of service personnel, the rent and lease expenses, and there is a reduction of 28,085,000 for representation expenses to partially support the requirement for PS. For capital outlay, there is a decrease in the amount of 39,796,000 in fiscal year 2026. In fiscal year 2026, included a lower portion for ICT equipment. In addition, fiscal year 2025 included budget for purchase of 4 motor vehicles and other machinery and equipment. There is also an increase in 2.7 million in retirement and life insurance premiums, which is mandatory under the GSIS contributions. So these are the accomplishments of the Office of the Vice President. As the second highest office in the land, the OVP aims to promote the welfare of every Filipino in line with its vision to create lasting impact on the lives of every Filipino people through its socio-economic programs and services. Since 2022, the OVP has implemented the following programs: the PagbaBAGO, a million Learners and Trees campaign, the disaster response operations, relief for indigents and individuals in crisis and emergencies or RICE, You Can Be VP, Libreng Sakay, Kalusugan Food Trucks and Pansarap, Negosyo Ta, and the medical and burial assistance. The OVP programs are implemented in the central office and through 10 satellite offices and 1 extension office, which continue to operate in key areas in Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao to provide Filipinos with immediate access to the services provided by the Office of the Vice President. In Luzon, we have the Cagayan Valley Satellite Office located in Kawayan City, Isabela. In Pangasinan Satellite Office, we have the office located in Dagupan City, and for the Bicol Satellite Office, we have the office in Legazpi City. In Visayas, for the Cebu, Bohol, and Siquijor Satellite Office, it is located in Cebu City. And for Eastern Visayas Satellite Office, it is located in Tacloban City. And for the Panay and Negros Islands Satellite Office, it is located in Bacolod City. And in Mindanao, for the Caraga Satellite Office, it is located in Butuan City. In Southern Mindanao, it is located in Davao City. And for BARM, it is in Cotabato City. And for Western Mindanao, it is in Zamboanga City. For fiscal year 2024, the OVP had a target of 1,013,620 beneficiaries for all the programs, and a total of 1,780,079 individuals and groups were served. The high performance was achieved with the help of 470 strategic partnerships that were established with government agencies, civil society organizations, medical institutions, and other external stakeholders. Likewise, the OVP successfully implemented 99% of all planned projects and achieved a high average satisfaction rating of 98% for its services, including the requests acted upon within the standard processing time. Finally, the office completed a total of 490 engagements with partners and stakeholders. As to the financial targets in 2024, the OVP obligation rate was above the 85% mark. The OVP had 85.55% budget utilization rate with 1.783 billion amounts obligated, and with the disbursement rate of 86.03% or 1.53 billion disbursed. For fiscal year 2025, the OVP has continued the implementation of its flagship programs designed to provide the Filipino people with access to basic social services, with a target of 1,047,935 beneficiaries for the year, a total of 595,757 individuals, or 57% of the target, were served across all OVP programs and services during the semester. The OVP has also established 242 partnerships to support the development and implementation of its various initiatives. Notably, the OVP successfully implemented 100% of planned projects encompassing activities such as social preparation, technical assistance, and program implementation. Furthermore, the OVP achieved an average satisfaction rating of 97% for its services, exceeding the target of 90%. In addition, the office completed a total of 770 engagements with partners and stakeholders, further strengthening collaboration and support for its programs. As of June 30, 2025, the OVP has 756.33 million total release allotments and a continuing appropriation equivalent to 147.1 million, totaling the available allotment for the year to 903.43 million. For the first semester, the OVP has already obligated 34.3% of the available allotment received, equivalent to 309.69 million, and with a disbursement rate of 66.8% or 206.83 million. Although the current rate of 34.3% falls short of the mid-year target, the OVP's mid-year utilization rate remains consistent with previous years, which are below 50%, since some of the OVP programs are implemented only in the second semester of the year, such as the PagbaBAGO program, wherein bag distributions are made after the opening of the school year, and activities for disaster response, which are usually during the typhoon season starting July, and some procurements are ongoing. With these, the OVP remains on track in maintaining an obligation rate above 85% by year-end, as has been achieved in prior years. The OVP holds a distinct position in our bureaucracy. As the second highest office in the land, the OVP carries out functions that complement the work of other government agencies while advancing the well-being of the Filipino people. The proposed 902.895 million for fiscal year 2026 budget for the OVP will help us continue with our mission to deliver efficient, accessible, and responsive public service for the good of all Filipinos. Thank you, Mr. Chair.